Good morning. This is going to be a current love vibe read. What is the energy between you and the person that is on your mind at this time? Let's pull 2 cards to start. This one's popping out. We have 5 of Cups, disappointment. And one more, please. Just the energy between you and the person that is on your mind. 7 of Wands. Okay, they're coming back around again. Okay, so these cards were showing their faces for quite some time, and now they're back. It's basically giving me a story of adventure, a story of getting through hard times, not accepting defeat, finding another way around a problem. If you can't go through it, you go over it, you go above it. If you are on a path together that seemed like it hit a dead end, a stone wall, where it seemingly feels like everything is over with the 5 of Cups. It's kind of like a change of heart or change in directions. I wouldn't fret too much because the 7 of Wands is showing that there is some sort of room for a resolution. There is a chance of, crossing over to other better times. If there's not a bridge, you build the bridge, or you just jump into something else with this person. So it seems like there was an abrupt stop to your relationship, to your connection, whether energetically or it was a situation that happened where maybe the situation made the connection stop. Something made both of you stop trying and kind of change directions when it comes to love. However, there is it's not over yet, because this is giving me a chance of resurrecting this sort of feeling between you two. You both still feel for each other. Wands have a lot of energy as well. There's a lot of strong connections together with Wands, and it looks like you still kind of want to give it a try. So on the bottom of the deck, again, when I was pre-shuffling, I'm paying attention to the cards that are popping out and the Lovers. We're on the bottom of the deck. I shuffled about a dozen times, and guess who comes out again? The Lovers. So if this isn't a love read, I don't know what it is, I'll just put this out here because it should be. The Lovers have been coming out for a while, so there's just some sort of, you definitely have some sort of sexual energy with somebody that is not going away, and it's very strong. The Lovers could also mean Gemini energy, if you know an air sign, but it's giving me like the vibe of connection, sensuality, compared to the 2 of Cups, which is about more emotional love, feelings, romance. This is more about sweaty nights, let's say. I'll keep it like that. Am I allowed to say that, at least? So this is kind of like where you're both wanting to get to because you feel that way, so I think you're both trying to figure out how to jump and get to this place where you're thinking of with each other. But there has been some sort of blockage between you two in the past, but I don't think this is stopping you two from what I'm seeing here already. A huge wall won't stop love. Love is undeniable, especially when there's a real connection and not just a physical connection, which you definitely have, but like a real connection, a soul binding kind of connection with someone. It doesn't come around often, so when you do feel it, it feels like you just got shot up, with electricity, like a stun gun just like shoots you when like you're kind of, I just saw 444 on the clock. It kind of just gets you going in a different direction. It wakes you up out of your sleep. Maybe you've been walking around kind of just unconscious, you almost forgot what love could feel like. And then when you meet people that kind of shock you out of that feeling and make you start feeling alive again, you can't turn that off, even if there's blockages, to the relationship or to getting to know one another. I think you're both trying to figure out how to cross over, and make it happen. Because I think you both want to make it happen with the Lovers. Lovers is been a prominent card. All these 3 cards actually have been, so it's giving me a very positive outcome to whatever blockage you've been feeling or experiencing with this person. Let's verify here a little bit more. What's going on with this 5 of Cups between you and your person? What's this disappointment about? What's the disappointment about this person? The 10 of Cups. I've been disappointed because you know that you are attracted to one another, and you know that this person can give you exactly your 10 of Cups kind of lifestyle. This also fell out, so I guess I have to read it along with that, the Page of Pentacles. You're disappointed because you see this person as a really good life partner for you, a good love match. Obviously the attraction is there, that's not the issue here. It's also, creating a family, having your end results where, like you're arm in arm with someone with some kids in a home, and you're like, look at what we created. The 10 of Cups is kind of like happily ever after vibes. That's a good way of putting it. Everything's happily ever after. It's kind of like a storybook. And this Page of Pentacles is kind of like, it's just kind of like not enough connection, right? Whatever situations you were in together when you met this person, even though you felt the 10 of Cups way, which is a pretty strong card with the Lovers. I mean, I'm talking about a strong connection here. The disappointment comes in with the Page of Pentacles. Pages are very immature. They're not the most well-spoken. Even though he's kind of like giving you a pentacle to show you some sort of interest, it's not really enough to kind of get the ball rolling. It's kind of just like a very, very small hint in your direction. It's not even like the Page of Cups where he's like flirting with you, at least just, lightheartedly. This is the Page of Pentacles where it's kind of like, wanna be friends? It's very soft and like hinting, it's not very straightforward. The Lovers and the 10 of Cups is very straightforward in its approach to showing emotion, let's say. The 10 of Cups is all about real, true, like heartfelt love and family, togetherness, unity, your home life. And the Lovers obviously is all about passion and lust and connection and knowing. There's no second guessing. It's just pure, raw feelings and emotions, and it's out there. They're, these 2 lovers, they're hand in hand, they're canoodling, they're embracing in a very tight way, and, the universe is in between them. They're creating a new universe together. When 2 people collide in such a manner, when 2 lovers are really connecting, is there any more magical thing that can happen? Like you're creating a new universe, literally, within you 2, and especially if you create a baby, you're creating, the world within you, within your love. So it's a very strong, it's a sexual connection, but it goes beyond that. It's into like the cosmos, This is a deep-rooted connection, and obviously it's expressed through sensual feelings, but it's a very deep-rooted sensuality. It's, spiritual, and his approach. So this page here, even though he feels this very strong way, and you both kind of have that feeling, he's not giving you much to work with. And I think that's what kind of just stops, because this page is not offering you this. And he's kind of just like, hey, hi, like it's very detached and more like a friend zone kind of feel. So that's what I'm kind of getting with this Five of Cups, this disappointment in love, with the page. This page is disappointing you. Pull one more card with that. Actually, let's go to the Seven of Wands. Chariots. Yeah, the Chariot and the Queen of Wands. Yeah, so things heat up, let's say. Yeah? For the Chariot and the Queen of Wands, with the Seven of Wands, I think things will start trucking along here. Things are going to start moving faster in a positive direction between you two. Once you learn to just kind of gain enough courage to kind of make the leap, like if you both kind of understand this connection that you have between you two, but you're just afraid, or you just haven't made a move. This is the card showing that you're making moves together. Either he's going to make a move towards you, or vice versa. Especially with the Chariot, it's definitely happening. This is a movement. This is both movement, actually. The Seven of Wands and the Chariot card is showing me movement in the right direction. Especially with the Queen of Wands, she pops out again. There's fire energy. There's also the energy of leveling up in how you handle your work, your creativity, your productivity. And it's with these three cards together, I'm really feeling like it's moving in a good direction. This is a positive spread, even though there's been disappointment and some roadblocks and some wishy-washy behavior, unclear communication. It looks like it's starting to turn around. The wands are all about fire and energy, and it's like a magic wand. It's like, what do you do with your magic wand? What would you ask for in this world? What would you dream about happening? If you could just wave, 7 wands in the air and ask for, 7 things to happen to you that you wished for, what would they be? Because it's kind of like make a wish, because this Chariot is, this Queen of Wands is riding on the Chariot, giving you a chance here. It looks like there's a chance to make right the wrong, that whatever happened or whatever miscommunication there's been, it looks like you'll have a chance to kind of fix it, let's say, fix it and make things a little bit more, let's say, you'll understand each other a little bit more in this connection after you kind of make the leap. Because I think the underlying factor here when it comes to any relationship between two people, whether it's, I saw 1331 on the clock, you have to have a common bond, a common goal, a common life outlook in order to stay connected, especially during times when you might not agree with one another. You're never going to agree fully 100% with anyone. Everyone's different. Everyone thinks differently. Everyone has unique paths and ways of thinking and divulging problems. What's important here is having the same outlook on life going forward, what you want out of life. You want this 10 of Cups, and you want the love, and you want the family, and you want the feelings, and you want it all. You have to have that same kind of connection with somebody in order to work towards it. So when you hit the wall, you both could be running, and jumping, holding hands, and being like, let's just do this because we both want this, right? When you both want something, you can work towards it together and you become a team. So when things get a little messy, or you start fumbling, arguing, or not communicating, fully, you can learn how to kind of process things faster, get things going together, and make things happen. Because this is like, I'm making it happen, spread. This is These are things that are turning around in your favor between you two. So just pull out the Eight of Pentacles and the Lovers. Pentacles and the Lovers. So you both really want to make it work. Again, it's just showing that you're both willing to do the work on this. I think when you both hit this disappointing segment of your connection, it kind of gave you a chance to really think about what you desire and what you wish for. Like, do you really want a relationship? Some people don't. Maybe some people are just meant to mess around. Some people just like the fleeting thought of love in the, the honeymoon phase where, where you get that cocktail of hormones, and things that happen to you when you fall in love. That feeling is the same feeling in the same exact place in your brain where cocaine lights up, if you're on drugs. If you're on love or in love, you're still getting a cocktail of at least 4 different hormones that are pumping through you. So it becomes addicting. And some people become addicted to that feeling, and it's almost undeniable. I mean, God, made this cocktail specifically to make it enjoyable. It's a very enjoyable feeling, and that's undeniable. But there's love. It's not just about getting in bed with someone or finding a lover or, lovers to just share a bed with for a few moments of time. Let's say, I was going to say a minute, a few minutes of time, but hey, a few moments of time. You want love and family. You want like true deep, where it's like when you're with your person and you're connecting, let's call it, it's spiritual, because this is your man, this is your woman, this is your other, this is the soul that you choose to connect your energy to. If you're a female, you're receiving this man's love inside of you. You're receiving his body. You are the gateway to the universe, and he is entering your gate. And you're both sharing energy between each other. It's a very spiritual act. And it's beyond pleasurable because of it. It's mind, body, soul pleasure, and that results in family, love, forever. Building the home with the picket fence and the dog kind of feeling. You want both feelings. It's sometimes hard to balance, especially in long-term relationships. People always struggle with, how do I keep this love alive like this? The lovers, you have to keep doing it. If you lose it, if you don't use it, you lose it, it's kind of like that. Like, you have to keep the romance alive, especially when you're in a long-term. People think it comes naturally, and it does at first. It's a very beautiful, natural connection when you first fall in love with someone, but once the 8 months of honeymoon cocktails runs away, and then you settle into a real connection with someone, long-term, it's a different type of love. It's like this type of love now. It's safety, it's loyalty, it's healing one another, it's helping one another. It's a different type of love. It's a different level of love. And I think you're both willing to do the work. The Eight of Pentacles is really cool because it's showing that you're both willing to do the work to get it. And obviously it takes work to get what you want. You can't just wave your wands around, and just expect things to come to you naturally without doing anything to get it. You still have to put in work. You still have to communicate, talk to one another. You got to learn one another. You got to learn what each other likes, what each other doesn't like. And the only way to do that is through communication. And especially if you want marriage with this 10 of Cups, or just a long-term, serious person. As I say marriage, guess what pops out? This is the marriage card to me, because this is all about tradition, law, order, and especially when it's with the Lovers, which is weird because, again, when I was shuffling, these two were popping out on me. We have the Lovers and the Hierophant, and the 10 of Cups here. This is all about marriage. This is about long-term feelings between one another. You both kind of want something more than just the dating world. I think that maybe you're both trying to figure out how to kind of get there now, because there's been the disappointment and you're both willing to kind of get over it now. You know, like why waddle? I don't know why I want to say this. Why waddle in the puddle like a duck? You know, like you're like waddling around, you're like not getting anywhere. Now let's get out of the puddle and like let's start flying into a better atmosphere with one another. You know, let's level up. Let's get this going. The engine's on. You know, with the chariot, we're going. Let's go. So with Lovers, the Eight of Pentacles, and the Hierophant, that's a beautiful spread actually together, because you're willing to do the work. And the work of marriage is not for the lighthearted. A lot of people just jump into marriage thinking like, oh, well, everyone does it. It can't be that hard. It's super hard. And it's a contract that you create for the rest of your life. What other contract in this world do you sign at a young age? Usually before your brain is actually fully formed, people are signing these documents with a person that you have to expect to change over time. If you would want someone to change over time, don't you? Like to keep growing and learning, you know, like if you marry someone, like say from high school, and then that person never changes and they're the same exact person, doing the same exact things, driving down the same exact roads, hanging out with the same exact friends since high school, and now it's 30 years later. It's kind of like, are you leveling up? Are you going anywhere? You know, maybe that works for you. Some people like the simple life and, you know, the simple things, and there's no wrong in that either. But in order to choose a lover, a life partner at such a young age, especially before you know who you really truly are, is kind of silly in my opinion. But you know, I feel like that in a lot of ways with society. But with the Hierophant, the Lovers, and the Eight of Pentacles, I'm sensing there's like a wanting of something secure. You know, like I picture like almost like a ring on these two people's fingers actually, because the Hierophant's giving me marriage. The Ten of Cups is giving me marriage feelings, you know, like you're thinking about a life partner, and I think you're both kind of thinking about that at the time, and you're trying to figure out how to get there. But I see things in the works with you. This is not stagnant energy. This is something that's moving and changing in the right direction. There's nothing to be afraid of, and there's nothing to be sad about, because there's movement here. There's a lot of movement in the right direction. Whether or not you've expressed marriage with this person or you don't even have a connection yet, you both are kind of feeling and thinking and ruminating and imagining what it would be like to be married in general, and specifically with this person. Let's see if there's any other overlying energy between you two at this time. What else is going on with you two? Between you two. You guys are revving up your engines together. The Ace of Pentacles. You have the Page of Pentacles and the Ace of Pentacles coming out. Yeah, there's a brand new start. This is again showing me like your disappointment with one another, I think, is gone. I think it's over. I think you're gonna learn how to figure out how to get around this huge blockage. You know, if you kind of just look and change your perspective, you can see. If you looked in a different direction, even with this card, you can walk around, you can walk over. This person is choosing to jump on top. You know, it's kind of like thinking outside of the box on how to fix things. Or in fine art, when you're in school and you're trying to do a portrait, you know, something that you're trying to copy out of real life portraiture, let's say, and you can't figure out why something is not looking right. The professors would tell you to kind of look at your painting in a different in a different fashion, a different view, to kind of gain a new perspective on what you're not seeing clearly. So change, look at your picture through a mirror, or turn it upside down, or look at it from the left or the right, or look at it from really far away. You'll start to pick out things differently when you change your perspective. And I think this is what I'm getting here, is once you both change your perspective, that you have an underlying goal that you both want, which seems to be like this love lock, a relationship that's long-term, a marriage, something of that sort. You want it locked down, like you want a new chance to fix this, and it seems like it's swiftly coming through to you. There is a new chance at love between this person and you. This is what I'm getting. The Six of Cups. Like, how much more validation do you need here? This is a good connection, and there's a strong chance of turning it around with the Six of Cups. Again, it's being able to have enough love to share, and sharing it with the right person, right? All these cups you're willing to share and team up and give them your cups, and there's so much abundance that can happen when you combine forces, especially with love. And this is the feeling of that, combining forces. I just feel like you both want a person. You just want your person, who you want to meet, the person that is just going to be it. And it's not like giving up. It's kind of just like, I'm done searching. I found, the person that I want to share this with, and I just want to make it happen. And I know that this is the person that I want to share my heart with, that I want to work with. This is the right person to work it out with, especially when it comes to marriage. There's going to be problems, there's going to be arguments, and there's going to be a lot of things that you're going to have to work out. And you need the right person to work it out with. It's not about how well you get along, it's how well you disagree, because that's going to give you the real quality of life in your life. You're always going to disagree, and you want someone to kind of play, disagreement with you, not in a malevolent way, but like in an honest, truthful way, where you're both trying to help one another, because you both love each other, and you both want, to keep growing with one another. You're both willing to kind of work it out fast, and work towards a problem instead of against one another. And especially with marriage, and law and order kind of feelings, and love together here. There's so many ways where communication is necessary, and you have to be able to trust this person and to communicate the right way. And I think you've found who it is. This connection, what that you're thinking of, is a very strong connection, and you're really doing the work on what you want, and thinking about who would be the right fit. I think this person is as well. What's going on with the Ace of Pentacles? 10 of Pentacles. Seriously? So we go from the Ace of Pentacles to the 10 of Pentacles? We have two 10s here, people. We have the 10 of Cups and the 10 of Pentacles. That's a lot. It's a lot of fortune to be had with one another. A new start that can turn into everything that you've ever wanted. Like, truly. Truly everything. Money, love, family. Forever. Trust. Connection. Creativity. Family ties. The dogs. And the kid pulling at your dress. And grandparents. Family. Building a home, a life. This is what you both been thinking of right here. And this is what you're getting. It's coming through. With a little dose of the Lovers. I mean, like, can you ask for a better connection? What else does someone want in a marriage between, love, honesty, connection, the whole gamut? These are exciting cards for you. There's a strong chance of a new chance at this. So, pull one more card here, and then we'll pull one oracle, just see what else we have. But it looks like you know the work that needs to be done in order to get the marriage, the relationship that you are kind of wishing for and wanting for. And you're making sure that you choose the right person to do this with. And this connection that you have in your head, it seems like a good connection. You're both kind of like in the right mind frame of like thinking about future, thinking about what you really want, and not just these two comes out. So I guess I have to read these both. Wow. Okay, Death and the High Priestess together. You're putting an end to old ways. This disappointment is coming to an end. So death to disappointment, right? Disappointing times are over. I think you're both kind of wanting to put an end to this garbage, I want to say. I don't know why I want to say garbage, but I am. There's just been some kind of, just like the disappointing feelings, the heartbreak, the starting over feeling, the just constant wondering about, lovers, relationships. Are you ever going to get something that you want kind of feeling, right? These are the cards showing you that this is done. Your disappointing feeling is over with. Like, forget it. It's over. Like, there's a new way to make this happen. There's new love coming in. There's new chances at figuring this out. Making it work with someone, creating a marriage. And the High Priestess is all about uncovering your secrets, letting them be known, being really in tune with your intuition. I think once you really connect with your own intuition and you trust it to the point where you know that it won't steer you wrong, she's uncovering the moon, the High Priestess uncovers what is silently wished for. She goes after it with her intuition first. She kind of questions her intuition and then she makes it happen. She's very spiritual and she's very in tune with her spirituality. I think there's going to be an end to the disappointment because you're both going to come through here and speak to one another and have a conversation that's really going to change your outlook on both of one another. I think you're going to put an end to not communicating the right way. With the Five of Cups and the Death card, I'm seeing that you're both kind of like, I don't like this outcome. I'm tired of feeling disappointed in relationships. I'm tired of feeling like going through, the dating world and all that mambo, it's gonna be just, I want to just express myself and tell you how I'm feeling truthfully. The High Priestess on the, with the Queen of Wands especially, she's very fiery and like in your face, and she's gonna tell you exactly how she feels. So I see you both having a chance coming up soon. There's a chance swiftly coming to you with a pentacle, a chance at working it out, uncovering your feelings for one another, saying it out loud. Because it's hard not to, right? We're from the 7 to the 8 of Pentacles, so it's a great, again, it's going up, right? You're disappointed, but now you're gonna make it work. You're making it work out together. You're tired of feeling disappointed. You're tired of feeling like you have to work so hard for love. Love is gonna be hard, but it's a hardness like in a way where you want to do it. It's like if you do something you love, you don't work a day in your life. It's kind of like that, where it's like it's a different type of work. It's just what you need to do to keep the love alive because you cherish it so much. It's not like, oh, I gotta work, and maybe work for the connection itself. It's like, no, you don't need to do that. You don't have to spin your wheels so hard in order to get through to somebody or to connect with someone that deeply. It's either there or it's not. And I think that you're starting to realize that. And really express yourself, express your ideas in an eloquent way. And you'll both be able to put an end to the second guessing, the mind games or the mind reading that you might feel have to do because there's no truth being discovered when you both don't open your mouths. That's what I'm feeling. But again, overall, this spread is sick. This spread is giving me really good optimistic vibes for you and this person. Definitely there's going to be a chance of uncovering how you both feel with one another, how you both are, what you want out of life, what you want out of a relationship, yeah? Fly high and observe from above. Here you'll find a new perspective, a greater understanding and compassion. Like I said, from trying to gain a different perspective, I think that once you realize what your perspective and what your true wishes are yourself, you'll know what kind of person you want, right? If you don't know what you truly want in a relationship or a marriage, how are you gonna find it? You can't just sit back and like have suitors come to you and then just say yes or no. It's like, no, you have to have some sort of guideline for yourself already. You have to know what you already kind of are looking for, what you want, your red flags, your yeses and your nos. And you have to be lenient still, but at the same time, it's kind of like, keep your head held high, keep your head in the right space of what you want. The 10 of Cups, the 10 of Pentacles kind of feeling, making this family, this solidity, happen. Working towards something solid, and having that love still. When you put your mind on the outcome instead of how disappointing it was in the past, keep your mind going forward instead of looking in the past. That will keep you trucking along in an optimistic way towards one another. Also, don't worry about how hard it's been with other people. You have to put an end to that and just uncover your feelings and your thoughts like you've never been hurt before. And I know that's very silly to say because the way that our brains are even constructed, they're meant to remind us of pain so it doesn't happen again. So if you've been in very painful relationships, of course it's very hard to just love radically again. But this is the thing with love. The more that you've been disappointed, you'll learn from them, you'll learn how to decipher red flags faster. The more that you date, the more that you have more experience. And unfortunately, you're gonna have to, get pushed over and dust yourself off a few times in order to learn your own lessons, in order to trust your intuition when someone's showing you a red flag to begin with. And I think that once that you stay in the right direction of where you want to go, you're gonna find the right person faster because you're gonna kind of decline red flags faster. You're not gonna get caught up in the red flags as much when you learn the lesson and you kind of take it along. So learn the lessons of the past. Don't forget the lessons that you've already learned from past relationships, past lovers, but give the new people a chance with a fresh start, not an already painted canvas, a fresh canvas. Start new. Start like you've never been hurt before. Start like you've never been loved before. And if this person hurts you and you see the red flag, you just pick up and move on, and then you just go, oh, next cup, and that's how you get along faster. If you force things or you try to force things with people that are just not working, it's just a waste of time. You can't change anyone, unfortunately. As hard as you try to be kind or whatever, you can't force love. True love shows itself, and you know it when you feel it. And I think that you're both feeling that, the connection. So it's like, are you willing to put in the work? Are you willing to uncover your feelings towards one another? Maybe there's a new way of looking at each other or the relationship in general that's going to give you a greater understanding and compassion for one another. When you connect and you communicate, you might learn something about the other person that maybe you thought didn't exist. Or it explains why they've been acting a certain way. If someone explains this to you, then you have a greater compassion for them because you understand their journey more, and you might be more compassionate. They might be more compassionate back to you as well. That's kind of what I'm feeling. One more card, and then we're done here. Just trying to think of it from a different point of view. It might come in handy. somehow, maybe try to think of it in their point of view. Try to be empathetic, maybe. So many cards flying out, but one popped over, so. The timing of the universe is precise and wise. With patience, care, and trust, the flowers you've been tending to will bloom in glorious beauty. Let it blossom, baby. Your love is gonna blossom. This lover's feeling is blossoming on its own divine timing. That's what it's feeling. That's what it's saying to you, is just, you've been doing the good work. You've been really trying to figure out what you want out of life. And then if it's marriage, and this person is also thinking about that at this time. And even though there's been some disappointment and some miscommunication in the past, or not full communication, let's say, I think that things are turning over in the great direction for you. And I think this person's willing to do the work with you. You're gonna find someone that's gonna do the work with you and kind of show you a new perspective on love again. If you've been constantly disappointed with your relationships, the timing is going to be right. The universe is going to give you exactly the love that you've been wanting and wishing for. The 10 of Cups and the 10 of Pentacles are here for you. And the High Priestess is uncovering both of your feelings towards one another. You're going to jump over some huge hurdles together and get through the other side, because you both want to put in the work. You both want to love, and you both want the family, the forever, and the person that you squeeze and hold at night during cold nights. That's what you want, and that is what you both get if you just connect and uncover that you both want the same dream. There's a lot of good things to happen with you two, and there's a strong possibility of it working out. So this is a good read for you. Good luck.